And the Israel-Hamas agreement seems to be holding again, but of course there have been claims from Hamas that Israel broke some of the terms of the truce, over which across a period of 4 days we are seeing hostages being released by Hamas in Gaza and Palestinian prisoners, mainly women and teenage prisoners, being held in Israeli jails being released. For more, we're joined now by Mia Alberti in Beirut in Lebanon. And Mia, thank you for being with us. Firstly, because of your vantage point, what is Hezbollah saying, an ally of Hamas? I mean, there were even fears that this would be the new front and Israel would also be taking on Hezbollah. Just tell us the mood where you are right now, and then we'll talk about what's happening in Gaza.
Look, the mood is the same from the beginning, which is that people here in Lebanon feel like their destiny is at the hands of a group that they don't have any control over, or they don't have any say over what happens. And this situation is not an exception. We are seeing a break in fighting between Hezbollah and Hamas here in Lebanon with Israel there on the border here between Lebanon and Israel. We are seeing that break, which has allowed some people to go back to their houses in southern Lebanon to check if their houses are intact. Most of them to go and get basic essential items such as winter clothing, since when they left their houses the weather was still warm and now it is winter. So we are seeing these people going there but not fully returning to their homes because they say that bombing could resume at any point. So I think that is a good reflection of how people are feeling here, especially in the south, where most people are living at war, even though it is not official. This is the conditions in which people are living. Their houses, their farms are being bombed. They are forced to flee. They are displaced. We're talking about tens of thousands of people displaced. Now, for Hezbollah's position, they have been clear from the beginning that they are supporting Hamas, that they are supporting the Palestinians in Gaza, and that they would continue to attack Israel if Israel continues to attack Gaza. And so we are kind of seeing them being truthful to their word. And now that there is some break in fighting in Gaza, the same is happening here. We also heard from Hezbollah's arm in Iraq saying that they will also honor this truce and that they will reduce or stop their attacks on US bases that we have been seeing in Iraq for the past few weeks. We are still seeing this part of Axis of Resistance in Yemen continue to carry out attacks. On Sunday they have claimed to seize another Israeli tanker. So we are seeing in Lebanon and in Iraq at least this position from Hezbollah to honor this truce.
All right, so interesting how other areas are being affected. The epicenter of the bombardment over days before the truce has been Gaza. And of course there were these claims and a delay in the swap of hostages and prisoners last night. How do things there look today? I'm getting the sense from you that everywhere the pause, it's been called a pause, is holding now.
It's not, actually. We have seen Israeli forces killing a Palestinian farmer in Gaza, and according to the Palestinian news agency, 7 other Palestinians in Gaza have been injured in at least 2 separate attacks, shooting attacks in Gaza. So we continue to see Israeli forces attacking Palestinians, mostly trying to reach northern Gaza, which is now occupied by Israeli forces, which, some rights groups say that could amount to forced displacement, which is a war crime. And so this is the type of clashes, of incidents that have delayed the operations yesterday, that have delayed the release of hostages and prisoners on Saturday. On Sunday, what we have been hearing, of course, through background channels, is that the negotiations continue to be very difficult as this kind of incidents continue, as Israel continues to basically break the pause in fighting by attacking Palestinians in Gaza. Now we did just hear breaking news that Hamas has released one Russian hostage, that this person is making their way through the official channels to be released through the Rafah crossing. We just heard that in the last hour, and that appears to be a reflection of Hamas' gratitude for Russia's role in these negotiation talks. And we also know that it has been announced that at least 39 Palestinians, all of them have been identified as teenagers from the West Bank, will be released on Sunday. 13 hostages held by Hamas will be released on Sunday as well. Now, this is the plan, like it was the plan on Saturday, but it does seem that that we might see also delays as much as we saw on Saturday. The hopes from mediators such as Qatar is that these negotiations continue to take place, and that the release continues to take place, even though if there is any delay. But of course, this kind of disrespect of the rules of the humanitarian pause make this much harder, as Hamas quoted on Saturday after those delays.
Well, tell us more about these attacks and what is claimed. I saw Sky News from the UK saying a camera person saw Israeli snipers targeting people going to the north. Is it that sort of attacks that you're talking about, individuals being targeted, or are these larger attacks? Just tell us more about the claims.
Well, most of them we saw in this main road leading to Gaza City, leading to the northern parts of Gaza. And what we saw from the footage, not only from Sky News, but BBC, CNN, and even international Reuters. So what we saw, not only what the Palestinians have reported, but what we saw from the images was these groups of Palestinians trying to make their way by foot or through, donkey carriages, trying to make, their way by foot to their houses to check out if their houses were destroyed, to check if their family members are alive. Remember that most of these people don't have connection right now. They cannot contact them, so they have to go to their houses, to their families' houses, to try and see if they are alive, if they are dead, to bury them. So, trying to get back to their lives. They have left their houses. And what we saw on Friday and on Saturday was Israeli snipers, Israeli armed soldiers shooting at this convoy of people trying to get to northern Gaza again. So these Israeli soldiers from windows from these buildings that they have occupied, shooting at these crowds of people. On Friday, 2 people were killed, and apparently on Sunday, according to the Palestinians, 1 person was killed and 7 were injured. So these are the most attacks. We're not talking about air raids or shelling. This is not taking place. What is taking place is from the troops on the ground, that they are shooting at Palestinians trying to get to the north. Although Israel is warning through leaflets and video messages that people in Gaza cannot watch because they don't have internet, but they are warning Palestinians not to go to the north. But again, this is where people live, this is where they have their livelihoods, and people are trying, or at least they tried to go to the north. And now, of course, as the days pass and these attacks continue, less and less people are actually taking the risk to go to the north, back to their homes.
All right, thank you very much. Reporting live from Beirut for SABC News, Mia Alberti.